Yo, I'm Bob. Totally blind since birth. Into Power Rangers. Got the Shout Factory box set in my hands. Talking about Season 2, Episode 25 of Mighty Morphin. This one's a monster of global proportions. It's the 85th episode of the series overall, premiered on November 5th in 1994. So we got teens from all parts of the globe showing up in Angel Grove to interview Angel Grove teens to see if they got what it takes to go to the peace conference in Switzerland. Unbeknownst to me, it was one of the last episodes in which we'd see the original Rangers. Yeah, I know they weren't really in the episode, but story-wise they were. You know what I mean. So we've got the forehead monster showing up later in the episode. So I like how we get to see that sculpture right in the beginning of the episode. I remember when I was a kid watching it for the first time on, I think it was a Saturday. I remember thinking, yeah, that's going to be the monster for this episode. Lord Zed, he is still highly ticked off because, he didn't enlist the aid of Rocky, Aisha, and Adam in the Ninja Encounter three-parter. That plan was a bust, so now he wants to capture these teens in order to create his own elite fighting force. So he is bent on having his own Dark Rangers one way or the other. I wish it could have come to fruition for him in the TV show. I mean, we would see the Psycho Rangers eventually in Power Rangers in Space, and he did make his own Dark Rangers in the Boom Studios comics. I gotta re-watch those video summaries. I think that was a really cool comic arc. So yeah, Zed sends Goldar and some putties down, and they capture the poor teens from all parts of the globe, and they whisk them away. I like how Goldar is having to ransom them for the power coins. This wouldn't be the first time Goldar had done this. If you remember, he had to do it for Rita back in Return of an Old Friend in Season 1 when he ransomed the Rangers' parents for the power coins. I like how he doesn't let Lord Zed know, we've already done this and it didn't work then. He's so terrified of Lord Zed. I like to imagine that he was kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to do what this guy says so he doesn't verbally abuse me anymore. So you've got the teens being taken to the cave. I think it's a random cave outside of Angel Grove. I don't think it's in another dimension this time. Zed's probably still got some cleaning up to do in the Dimension of Despair from Ninja Encounter. So Tommy has a plan. They're going to substitute chocolate coins. And they're going to make Goldar think that they're giving them the power coins. And Bulk and Skull, they are with it this episode. They're following Goldar and the putties to that particular cave. And I like how they're not afraid of Goldar in this episode. They really think these teens are the Rangers, and they smell the potentiality of money and fame, so they're putting their fears aside in this episode. And Bulk thinks he knows a way to get around to the back of the cave. I guess maybe Bulk's gone spelunking at some point. I don't know how in the world he knows his way around that area. That's pretty cool though. Bulk is a man about Angel Grove and the outskirts thereof. And I like the part where Goldar, he just laughs at them when the Rangers show up with all of their quote-unquote power coins. He's like, yeah, I wasn't going to release them anyway. Hardy har har har. And the Rangers know Goldar did this before, so they were prepared with the chocolate. And Goldar, he is quite ticked off. I like that little putty battle there in the cave. I think you've got Tommy taking on Goldar, and you've got the other Rangers taking on the putties. I forgot to mention, earlier in the episode, the Rangers have the aid of Rocky, Aisha, and Adam when the putties show up to capture the teens in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the episode. So I liked seeing the 3 Rangers in the making here in the episode, and then they kind of look around for the teens, I think. So that's kind of how they're used in this episode. I like that they're given a bit of a little something to do as the episode's going on. And, we have Bulk and Skull finding the coins. It's one of my favorite scenes because Bulk is foiled yet again. And I'm not sure why Skull is making these weird airplane noises. I don't know if he's playing open wide, here comes the airplane with Bulk, but he's like, yeah, check it out, man, it's chocolate, it's good chocolate. And he's like, yum, yum. I think that's Skull anyway. When I was a kid, I thought it was Bulk getting highly irritated, yet still enjoying the chocolate, but I think Skull was just making weird, goofy noises as they were both eating the chocolate. So the forehead monster is created. Zed is not too happy. And that's our monster. It's created from the sculpture we got to see at the beginning of the episode. And yes, I wish Hasbro would make that. This is a very fearsome monster. And I like that we saw the Power Blaster in this episode. We haven't really seen it too much in Season 2. But yeah, she's blasted back. I think she's also voiced by Alex Borstein. It sounds like Alex Borstein to me. Is it Borstein or Borstein? I think it's Borstein. I should know this because, I watched quite a lot of Family Guy back in the day. So the monster grows. They form the Mega Tigazord right away. I think this is only the second time we've gotten to see the Mega Tigazord. And she just deflects the Firebird attack right back at them. This is a really powerful monster. So Zordon decides to bring out Tor the Shuttle Zord. I remember instantly wanting this Zord once he rolled onto the screen. Well, I guess he kind of walked. The toy had wheels. So I'm sorry. I guess I imagine him rolling on screen. But yeah, he's a really cool Zord. He's got such a heavily armored shell. And we get to see Tor going into warrior mode. But not before he's knocked onto his back by the monster. I like how the Red Dragon Thunder Zord in warrior mode has to kind of get him back upright again. So there's an interesting little scene there. Tor in warrior mode was always really cool. I liked how his hands doubled as missile launchers. So he's getting to exhibit his firepower in this episode. And I really do wish Hasbro would make Forehead in the Lightning Collection. She could have her staff, some lightning effects there. We get to see Tor in action. Red Dragon goes into his chest for a bit, I think. And then we get to see the Thunder Ultrazord with the assault team going on top of Tor's back once he transforms back into turtle mode. And we get to see White Tiger Zord riding inside Tor. He was probably one of the easiest Zords to transform when I was a kid. I got all the Thunder Zords that Christmas, including Tor, and Thunder Ultra Zord was always quite fun to transform. And I like the finishing move. It's very, very basic, but it's very effective, and it probably hurts a lot. It's that one finishing move where Thunder Ultra Zord takes off due to Red Dragon's staff, and then they just land on top of whichever monster they're fighting and squash it. So, no screaming from Lord Zed in this episode. We just have the teens talking about, yeah, if we work together, we can accomplish anything, and that's how the episode ends. I still really enjoyed it. I did see this one when it premiered. I do believe that particular Saturday, November 5th. I will always remember adding Tor to my Christmas list. Unbeknownst to me, when I was at Memphis for Thanksgiving and at a Toys R Us with my mom and my aunt, one of them picked him up, unbeknownst to me, because, I can't see, so they could take care of quite a lot of Christmas shopping, since they had a blind kid with them. I didn't know what they were picking up. I should have known they were up to something suspicious because they had a shopping cart, and I thought I was just in there to see what I could see, get an action figure or two. And it was a pretty cool Thanksgiving/Christmas memory. Finally finding out that they had smuggled Tor into the shopping cart there. So, anywho, that'll do for this particular Power Rangers review / trip down memory lane. Next time, we're going to be talking about Lord Zed Waves, or Lord Brett, or Lord Fred, whatever Bulk and Skull called him in that episode. So be here for that. May the power protect you, and I will hear you next time.